I am a witness that sometimes, no matter how much progress you felt you made, um, that sometimes those old feelings can resurface. Those feelings of guilt, those feelings of fear, of low self worth, and finding your way back to loving yourself all over again can actually happen in this journey. I want to encourage you today about going through this process, and I want to share my story. So let's talk about it.
Loving me unconditionally.
Hello, my freedom walkers. Welcome to Loving Me Unconditionally. And today I want to talk about when old feelings resurface. Those feelings of guilt, those feelings of fear, low self worth, and finding your way back to loving yourself and the process of healing. I want to share my story on today. I'll just tell you right now that this week or past week and a half, almost 2 weeks now, has hit me harder than I expected. And I needed to, I needed to take some me time to process through some things, to heal even more, to move forward in life. And I'll tell you, a lot of times in this particular case, I know it's happening because I am transitioning into some more ideas and content ideas and some just fun, very out the box things that I want to do now, as far as business, as far as helping to reach other people, telling my story more. And I thought I was past certain feelings. I'm not gonna lie, but they kind of bubbled back up during this process. Guilt, fear, and doubt. Yeah, that's it. Those are the three things right there: guilt, fear, and doubt. And they bubbled up, and it felt like it was just out of nowhere. No matter how much breath work I've done, no matter how much meditating, doing the channels, self healing, affirmations, you name it. There was a trigger point that happened probably about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks now, when I was supposed to be working with this marketing company, right? And everything was nice and cool. And then they started becoming real pushy and started talking about, well, if you don't have this certain money by now, when will you ever have it? Blah, blah, blah. And kind of was saying negative, derogatory things about me that made me feel like that I'm not where I'm supposed to be at this particular point in my life. Headed on 50 years old, I should have the money for this. I should be at this point. I should be more what I felt at the moment successful. And it really just started bringing about all these old wounds of not being enough, about people pleasing, about being a failure and not being successful, and all of the voices from my childhood of just people just saying you're not this, you're not that. As a young adult, as like past pastors and people that I looked up to telling me that I'm not basically man enough or whatever the case may be. And also those feelings, some little slight feelings of guilt and shame from, growing up in the church and hiding who I was as being a black gay male. All those things just started resurfacing. And in the past, I was able to like deal with them one by one. But this time they all came to me at one time. At one time. And I want to just share what I've been through. I want to share them with you because I know I'm not the only one who feels this or who has felt this. Can I get a hallelujah, right? One of the things that resurfaced was back home guilt. How I felt like just for a split like moment, I even dreamed about it. Guilty about leaving when I had to leave. If you, when I just up and left home because I felt like, for several reasons, low self worth, hiding my truth, suicide. It was either stay home or commit suicide, and and I had to save me at the moment because I was on my way of dying. And those feelings came, and I couldn't shake it this time. I couldn't get past it. Although I've told my story, although I have done so much work to move forward in these areas, that really, really stunned me. It actually put me in this place for like 10 days where it's like, I can't do a YouTube channel. I can't do this new adventure. What if I fail? What if this? What if that? I am not worthy enough, which is something that was taught to me, constantly, how I'm sinful and not worthy enough. And all of these things just begin to just come at me at one time. Also, I tell myself now that guilt isn't always truth. Sometimes it's just conditioning, right? And let me explain that. A lot of times for people to control you or to be controlled in a certain situation, I found out that guilt is used to make you feel guilty about making the decisions you're making to make your life better. And it's sometimes it's just conditioning. Where when I say conditioning, I mean like over time, operative conditioning. Basically, you feel guilty and you do this for penitence, or you hold your head down and you feel like you're lesser than, and you submit to somebody. Now you get some kind of little reward, like attaboy, you know. But that is basically detrimental if you're not living your true self, if you're not living in authenticity, if you're not living your goals, if you're not living your dreams in life. I'm telling you as a witness that that is detrimental to your growth and your development and your happiness and your true joy and your true passions and love for yourself in life. So if somebody's like in your life trying to make you feel guilty for something and control you, and always pulling those things up, they haven't forgiven you. But the main thing that I'm learning now is in this process is I've learned how to forgive other people, but I haven't spent time enough to forgive myself. And in a lot of cases, I'm learning that I have to forgive myself for allowance. In other words, for allowing things to happen to me because I, at the moment, didn't have the courage or didn't understand the power that's within me to say no or to say yes when I wanted to say yes. So I'm understanding that leaving wasn't a betrayal. It was survival and growth. I'll say it one more time. Leaving wasn't betrayal. It was survival and it was growth. Also, I found out that there was also what I call a fear of success, of what I would say the love flow nerves, which is going to be my new channel. It's going to be called Love Flow. I've always given my all to other people's projects, to other people's goals and their visions. I was even told in the church about some scripture about if you don't give, in other words, if you don't support another man's vision, how can God give you your own? Which is totally BS. It was another way of controlling. It was used in a way of controlling people, for them to do, basically follow a particular person and be like them and act like them and support them. And there's a lot of narcissistic behaviors in there as well. So I'm always doing that, but when it's my own, I always hesitate. When it's my own project, when it's my own goals, when it's my own visions, when it's my own passion, I always hesitate and not go fully all the way in it. I'll tiptoe in it and then I'll back up out of it, out of the fear of success. And I'll explain that. I think that I am scared of what happens if I actually succeed. Oh my gosh. What friends will I lose? What is the the unknown? Right? What is the unknown? What am I getting myself into? I definitely don't want to stay where I am. I can't stay where I am. And I can't go backwards. And I can't stay here. So there's only one way to go, is to go forward. But in going forward, that fear of success is pretty heavy at times, because it's a space of I would say abundance, and a space of success, and a space of joy and happiness that you never seen before. And one of the things that I was still dealing with is like, what if I don't succeed? What if I don't make it? And then I had to back out and say, well, I am not looking for really earthly success or things. The main reason for me to do any of this is first for inner healing, right? And then once I'm full, it spreads out to other people and they can get healing. They can get like breakthroughs or whatever the case may be, and hopefully changes in their lives as well. Fear of success is just fear of being fully seen. For me, fear of success is the fear of being fully seen. And I'm not talking, and it's on different levels. One level is like the YouTube channels or whatever case it be, in the world seeing me. And another level is being vulnerable and open and allowing the world to see me for who I really am. Because I spent my whole life in a masking myself to please other people. Worried about how other people felt about me, worried about how other people looked at me, and always felt like I didn't fit in, right? But this time is different, because what else do I have but me? I cannot be anybody else. And I know a lot of times watching social media and growing up in these really strict religious environments and growing up in these half-baked principles and these expectations of who you should be, how you should be, how you should think, how you should walk, how you should talk, and how basically your life is mapped out, how you should be at different points in your life. But to be your authentic self, I'm learning more and more, is just so freeing. And it's a process. It is a process. When I spent 4 decades of being somebody else, right? Over 4 decades of being somebody else. From the ages of hiding my child sexual abuse and molestation, my smartness in school, my wills and my personal desires, hiding my gifts and talents so that it doesn't overshine somebody else, hiding my sexuality so that I can fit in, don't go to hell, and not feel all of these different things, right? And not feel like that I'm a curse, or feel like that I am what's another word, an abomination, or bringing shame to my community. So those fears of success and being vulnerable and being open has really, really shaped this process of breaking through these walls in my life. and exhaustion. Whenever I do these videos, I just want you to know the Loving Me Unconditionally, any of these videos, I pour out so much of my heart and my essence that it takes a lot of energy out of me, spiritually, emotionally, physically, because it's healing work in public, and it's very raw. Like right now, I'm just talking and telling my story, and I know that afterwards I'll need to ground myself and telling myself I'm safe, telling myself that I am more than enough. Drink some water, do some light meditation, take a walk, lay in the grass, whatever the case may be. If you ever feel tired after working on yourself, that's normal. Healing takes energy. Healing takes energy. Healing takes energy. And you have to take care of yourself in this healing process. Make sure you do some things that you love. Make sure that in the healing process that you are still loving yourself and you're loving life and seeing the end, that one day, that day by day, let's start day by day, you're getting better. You're growing more. You're loving yourself more. Check off those small wins. That's what I'm in the process now of doing, is because I am a big picture guy, but I have to step back and look at the small daily wins or success. So I'm starting a journal, and I'm starting it today actually, of all of the things I would like to accomplish each day, and get and celebrate all the small wins in my life. That'll help me, or all the small successes, because that's the trigger word that I'm dealing with, is the word success right now. So I have to not call it wins, I have to call it success, because I like to get to the root of these problems and the root of how I'm feeling. So day by day, I'm going to begin to tell myself, hey, you did this, you did that, even if it's the smallest things. Why? Because when the bigger things come along, it'll feel just natural, right? And also, it's preparing my brain and my mind to get out of this woe is me mood, or to get out of this feeling that I am not enough. All of these things. So, and that I'm stagnant. And sometimes we think we're stagnant and we're not. Even if you move the goalpost half an inch, you're further along than you were the day before. Or move towards, I said it backwards, move towards the goalpost half an inch. We don't want to keep moving it back. Let's not do that. Let's move toward it. So there's every now and then, well, sometimes I've each actually smoked 420, bud, weed, whatever the case may be, cannabis. And this is vulnerable for me to share, being a former teacher or whatever the case may be. Who cares? This is my life. This is who I am. And sometimes it did like calm my emotions. It helped me through this process. But sometimes it'll block me. It'll keep me stagnant, and I have to know the difference. But during the healing process of what I've been through this past week or so, I did meditation, I did other things, I smoked, whatever the case may be. And it's time out to feel like shame about certain things. So I talk about it. It's not about shame. I've been through enough guilt and shame in my life to give two shits about somebody caring, like if I smoked a few times or whatever the case may be. It's about noticing what my body and my mind are asking for in that moment. And at that moment of what I've been through this past week, I found out that my body and my mind is asking me to stop, process this, slow down, and deal with this work. Deal with your inner healing. Deal with what we'll call shadow work. Deal with your issues. Because I want to be better. I want to love myself more. I want to care. I want to share. I want to be more of who I am. And it's up to me to bring that level of healing into my life. So I'm experimenting with healthy alternatives in this new channel. Everything for me is healing. You're watching me step by step go through my healing process, right? So I'm experimenting more with healthy alternatives like music, meditation, journaling. Starting this next channel, it's going to be a mix of all of that together. Because this is real heavy. Loving Me Unconditionally is really heavy work. And I'm going to start something fun and exciting to kind of lift up out some of that heavy work sometimes. So what I realize is all of this comes down to safety and self-trust. Safety and self-trust. Do I feel safe about not feeling safe to be exposed, feeling safe to take this next step in life? Self-trust, trusting me that I'm not going to hurt me. I'm not going to let me down. I'm going to hold me up or myself up, all right? Am I safe to leave? Was I safe to leave home? Right? Am I safe to succeed? Am I safe to rest? Am I safe to feel desire? And am I safe to be enough right now? That's where I'm at right now. Being safe in my own skin. Feeling safe and letting my inner child know that you're okay now. That I know that you've been through a lot. I know you've had to hide and tuck away in the corner. And I know, and when I say my inner child, I'm talking about a lot of times your subconscious mind as well, wanting you to revert back into the safe zone, your nervous system, because they see something that looks like danger, right? But I am safe now. I tell my body, we're safe here. I tell my mind, we're safe. I tell my heart, we're safe. It's safe. And here's the affirmation. If you want to repeat with me, say, it's safe to grow. It's safe to rest. It's safe to be me. Let's say it again. It's safe to grow. It's safe to rest. And it is safe to be me. If old feelings resurface for you, don't panic. It doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're human. It doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're human and you're healing. I think I want to say this again. If old feelings resurface for you, don't panic. It doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're human and you're healing. I think a lot of times we don't give ourselves enough grace. We hurt ourselves too much. We punish ourselves too much. No more self-punishment, man. I want to ask you, what feelings keep resurfacing for you? Think about it. What feelings keep resurfacing for you and tries to keep you from moving to the next step in life? I'm learning to love me unconditionally in these moments just like this. And I hope you do too. This is J Love and Loving Me Unconditionally. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Have a wonderful, beautiful day. Goodbye.
Loving me unconditionally. Loving me unconditionally. Through the fire, through the storm, I found the truth inside of me. Loving me unconditionally. Loving me unconditionally. No more shame, no more fear. I'm exactly who I'm meant to be.